We were in a very bad shape, I would say, in the beginning of the year. Like Q1 was one of the toughest during the last 10 years. But I mean, we managed to turn that around as a team. What's been happening now here in November and December is the complete opposite.
It's like good enough, so you gotta be great, and I'ma do whatever it takes. Doing what I love in life, and I'll pay the price, and not stopping even if the shit kills me, even if it kills me.
Hello, my friends, and welcome to MattGron Talks. My name is Mattias Gronborg, aka MattGron, and here I share my scaling up journey, building my company from nothing to something. And of course, with me as usual, the one and only, my co-host, Svea Malina Landschoff.
Hi, Mattias.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great, as always. Welcome to MattGron Talks, also from my side. If you're new here, this is where entrepreneurship runs smack into reality. And as I always say, 3 times per week, on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we have different topics we talk about all around leadership and building a company, scaling a company. And Mattias has a framework, so I'm sure he can explain it even better.
I have the framework, and every Monday we talk about my self-development journey, growing as a human being and a leader. And today we have the Wednesday episode coming up, and then we talk about all the things I'm learning in the entrepreneurial process, scaling up iGoMoon. And then every Friday, I share my weekly inventory I'm doing here at the company, and I share things that I could have done differently, what I have learned, and we are also celebrating the victories. Yes,
Absolutely.
Let's take it away,
Let's
Svea
do
Malina.
it. Svea Malina, you're literally the only person on earth who calls me that. But thank you. It's a nice name. I like it. Okay, let's jump into our Wednesday. As you said, we're talking anything about the company in the process, scaling up. And this is our last episode, actually, of 2021. And on our Monday episode, we already looked back at the year a little bit on a personal level. And I thought it would be a nice ending to the year to do that on a company level as well and talk about good things, bad things, goals of 2021 and how everything evolved. Let's start in general, very simple. How happy are you looking back at 2021? Was it a good year?
Yes, today I feel very grateful.
Yeah.
And when I'm in that mode, it was a good year.
All right, then let's talk about the highlights and the milestone. Tell me why it was a good year. What were some really great things that happened this year?
We were in a very bad shape, I would say, in the beginning of the year. Like Q1 was one of the toughest during the last 10 years. And we had a really bad Corona hangover, we could say. Yeah, there were so many different things that we were, struggling with as a company, tons of growth pain. People, they were like whining, they were angry, and I mean there was a mix of that coming from stuff that was going on in the the company, but I also think everyone had a tough and rough year, with COVID, and it really affected everyone on so many different levels. So it was
a shit start to the year. Let's say.
It was. But I mean, we managed to turn that around as a team, because it was like Q1, I would say. It was also like everyone was focusing on themselves, like it was a lot of ego going on, so to speak. But I think what's been happening now here in November and December is the complete opposite, because now everyone is more, it's a team spirit going on, and everyone is working so good together. I mean, definitely putting the team before themselves, and we are achieving things together. We are having fun. And I mean, a lot of kudos to everyone at iGoMoon, and that has been doing both like a personal journey and then also a team journey to change that. I mean, from Q1 to Q4, that's a, what do you say, quantum
Yeah.
leap.
Would you have
And
expected
I'm
that
so,
while you were in Q1 that everything would look like it does right now? Be honest. Would you have expected that drastic change?
yes, of
Okay,
course.
I know you're always positive. I like that about you.
That. I mean, but I mean that's a very good
Mm.
question, because that is the mindset
Yeah.
you need to have. Because if you don't have that mindset as a leader, where will you end up?
Yeah. That's true.
Because I mean, you must go really against the what do you say, the current, like the stream. Like you need to change what, like you, and if you can't see it before yourself, I mean, how could you ever possible being part of achieving that? So that's super hard. That's super hard.
Yeah, I said that before, but I have a lot of respect for you in that regard, to always see the positive, always strive to be better. I think that's great, and good that you pointed that out. Yeah, I didn't even expect that, but I mean, if I now think about the question, I should have expected that, knowing you, that you would say something like that. But that's so great. I know in one of the last episodes we also talked about the great team spirit that you just said as well. That
Yeah.
yeah, everything is going so well right now in that regards. Let's go back to the other milestones and all the positive things. You just said like the team spirit and everything evolved so much. What are some other things?
Yeah, so something we were talking about my, personal year, or in the last episode, and I think it's almost like the same approach with my personal life as iGoMoon, the company. You can't, I mean, it's very, like, you can actually look back 12 months and then compare, okay, where we are now compared a year ago, what's the difference? And then you can actually start doing some conclusions based on that. But you can't look like 1 week or 1 month or a quarter, because you need time between. And I think looking at iGoMoon today, I mean, if you look at iGoMoon if you look at the financial numbers for the, like, fiscal year 2021, you will probably see that, okay, nothing happened, because we have been, how should I say, on a plateau, so to speak. And but the difference under the hood is, it's huge, and I think we will see that over the next year now. And yeah, because we are ramping up, and sometimes you do a lot of work, and you transform a company, and then you will see that what kind of how it affects the number you see. So it will be very interesting to actually look back in 12 months and talk about the same topic.
Yeah.
But it's a big difference, but not on a I would say, if you look at the numbers.
Yeah, I have a question to that,
there's-
just quickly in between here, because you said there is not that big of a difference between 2020 and 2021, right? Is that because, I mean, first of all, there was the pandemic, everything slowed down a bit, but also I know you've done a lot of investments. Is that the reason why the numbers are not that different? I think we're talking.
Depends what numbers we are talking about. If we're talking about the revenue, there is not so. There is no like. I think the revenue is more than we will beat last year. But I mean, with a couple of percent or something, it's not so much. But the thing is, what if at this time last year we were like. I think we were down around 12 people or something. Now we are 20 people. So, I mean, that's a big difference. And it depends what kind of number you are actually comparing. Is it number of employees or is it the revenue? So, and we have growing on the headcount side. So that will impact.
Yeah, I know, because it's investment that you did. Like, I feel, especially in the second half of the year, a lot of people have joined, and it takes some time to get momentum, and I know that, and I think that will really pay off next year. You will see the long-term results of everyone joining, and I know you're still like hiring new people almost on a weekly basis, I feel. And I know you have some more positions to fill next year. You have big plans. You showed us the org chart where you're planning to go to, so exciting times. But I'm still trying to get back to the victories. So what else this year?
I just want to say that I'm very proud of the transformation of the company, and then I'm also very proud of winning that entrepreneurial award, the scholarship.
Yeah, just recently.
That was super fun, and then and then we also managed to beat the last monthly revenue all-time high record in November, and it seems like December will be very good as well. So I think we are stepping into the new year with a lot of positive energy in many ways.
That's amazing. It's really fun to follow the journey, and I'm being so close in a way, even though not working there, but I talk to you 3 times a week, so it's really fun. And sometimes I talk to David. If you don't know who David is because you just joined this, David is my boyfriend, and he used to work at iGoMoon, and we sometimes talk about it and how much iGoMoon has changed for the better also, and how much it has grown. And he said, I remember when I started, there were hardly any processes or anything, no proper onboarding, and now iGoMoon is processes. Like in my mind, I feel like everything is so like there's so much strategy behind everything, so much thought behind everything. You have like playbooks and proper onboardings, and I like that. So I think you've done a great job around that as well. So that was the positive side, and I mean, where there's light, there's shadow, right? So let's talk about some challenges of the year. You already said, obviously, the pandemic, and it's still going on, unfortunately, was a big challenge, definitely, to adjust to it, figuring out the whole working from home situation. We had talked about that before as well. But except COVID, what other challenges or setbacks did you experience this year?
I think I already shared them in one way, and where I more talked about like the challenges and how we navigated that and transformed the company based upon that.
Yeah, so I think the big challenge was the COVID situation, but also the team spirit, right? And like everyone was very focused on themselves, you said. Were those like the 2 big challenges this year in the beginning?
Yes, and definitely. And I think, as I said, we started a year. There was like one of the toughest period during iGoMoon's 10 years history. And if you look where we are now in Q4, especially now in November, December, we turned that around to I would say one of the greatest victories ever. And then I also think what we need to definitely what I'm working on really hard now is the leadership here at iGoMoon, both both like in the management team, but also self-leadership. And I think that's the number one ingredient that has actually transformed. And it must be much clearer, like both on an individual level, but also on the management level. What is like my personal mission? What is the mission for the team, and also the management team? What is our mission?
Yeah.
And then we need to. That's like the first thing, and then we need number two is we need to work on communication.
Yeah.
Communication.
Yeah, I think we talked about that in 2 episodes ago or something, roughly. We had this episode about leadership and how important the mission is, and the communication also on a leadership level. I'm gonna link this here.
We're always talking about it.
Yep. But especially communication. I always say it. I think we first talked about it in the first week, probably, when we started this vlog. Yeah, it's always coming back, but so important. But I think if you don't have any major challenge or setback in mind for the year, that's a great sign, in my opinion, that maybe you navigated kind of smooth.
That's what I didn't say that. If I communicated that, it was wrong. There was tons of challenges and there was tons of setbacks, and but I'm more trying to explain it in a little bit more like a vivid painting where we were and what we become, and that's there was of course a lot of friction in that on that journey, and it will
not stop, most likely, but that's why you're always working on things. And I mean, we talk about it almost every Friday also. We talk about, I mean, more on a personal level mostly, like what you could have done better, but it's often also connected to things within the company where there might be friction and you're working on. And I think my last part of the day, what I want to talk about is the goals of the year, because I know you usually have some kind of goals, at least like financial, on the financial side of things. I'm not sure if you have other goals as well. How did that look like this year? Did you meet your goals, maybe exceeded some?
Yes, both. We definitely didn't accomplish the budget we set up. And the biggest reason is that Q1 was so horrible bad.
Yeah.
But as I said, we in November we beat like a new all-time revenue record, and of course that's a victory. The other one is in that way a loss, and that's how it is on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. There is victories, there is losses, and but my overall wrap up of the year will still be, it was a victory year in many ways, and we are really looking forward. I am looking forward to make 2022 the greatest year ever. And as we have been talking about before, we have a goal to grow to 32 people, and the next year's revenue goal is 24 million kroner, and that's a big goal, and we are really reaching for the moon on that side, for sure. So yeah, but I mean, even if the year didn't started as I mean, I wanted, the company is in really good financial state, and I mean we will end up the year in the black,
good,
not in the red, and we of course we are closing the books in January, February, and then I have all the numbers.
Yeah.
But yeah, really good work.
That's great. Yeah, I think
from
it's
everyone.
such a good message to see. Even though if the year starts like shit, it's just how it is. It can turn around completely if you put in the work, and also have a little bit of
Yeah,
luck
exactly.
and
You
have a
must
great
you
team.
must understand, like you must also, you know, I think like it's very interesting to see like both more on a personal level, both if I look at myself, but also the team, like who we were then and who we are now.
Yeah.
That's nice. There could be sometimes there is very hard to, you know, the stuff we were talking about in the beginning, when you said if I looked back on Q1 and we are comparing it with Q4, if I could believe that then or see it in front of me, but the thing is, what I'm trying to say, if you see the shift in people, how they have been growing, it's very hard to put numbers to that, right? And that's what I really want to give everyone at iGoMoon kudos for. Because now in November we did a all-time record. We beat the old record, and the reason for that, the number one reason, is the shift, the mindset, the attitude, the teamwork. And that you need to put that together. You must accomplish that first on an individual, on a team level, to be able to reach the goals.
Absolutely. I think
Yeah.
my biggest takeaway from this episode is what you just said, how important a great team, but also the mindset is. And I think another takeaway is don't lose the courage, and don't if something bad happens, or like in your case you had a bad start to the year, push through. It's worth it, and you can turn around. Don't it's discouraged, right? When you lose hope, don't do that. Push through. And you're a great example. You turned around completely. Like iGoMoon, compared to like the beginning of last year, now it's difference of day and night, and it's so fun to see that and be at the office. And like I said, I love the team. I think everyone, also the latest additions, I've just met them like briefly, but what I've seen, I think they're all great people doing amazing jobs. So let's continue on that track. And I think you have done a lot of work. You've evened the way for next year to take off in a great way. So let's end this episode of 2021, our last Wednesday episode, like that, I would say. And then let's see the next year, what it will bring, and talk about goals and everything around that for the next year.
All right.
Okay.
That sounds great. Thanks everyone for watching MattGron Talks, and we hope to see you in the next one, and don't miss it. So hit the bell, subscribe, and we will see you soon. Okay?
Nothing to add. Thank you, Mattias, and thank you all for watching. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
See you in the next one. Bye.